Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It's your girl, Wicked Raider 22, coming to you, just doing a little bit of maintenance play on this particular free-to-play account. But I have a question for you guys, and it's one of the things that I noticed, especially after this most recent CVC play. But I think I also remember somebody else kind of hitting this one for me. Have you ever noticed, of course, there's a rotation when it comes to Clan v Clan. You will have one competition where you're only getting clan rewards, and then your next competition will include clan rewards as well as personal rewards as well. Has anyone ever noticed that for the clan rewards, let's say that your clan is level 5, you are probably put up against someone else's clan that's level 7, maybe level 8. But whenever there are personal rewards involved, if your clan is level 5, you will literally be matched against someone that's level 10, level 12, level 15. And my question is, Plarium, why? Why? All right. For example, my clan most recently, boom, we are level 3, y'all. We have won 4 competitions. We could not even participate in the first one. I was so heartbroken. And to my commenter, oh, where is your name? Because I wrote it down. None 6884. This is for you. I absolutely know the feeling of coming in, having to start your own clan, and feeling as if I'm going to have to be the first 10 people in my own clan. Only because when I first started my clan, of course, I could not get enough people to join. So we didn't even qualify the first time. I was absolutely heartbroken. And this was followed, of course, after being in a clan twice in a row that did not qualify because of activity. People would join, but they wouldn't actually log in, check in, and do some of the quests. It was so frustrating. And so finally, back in August, one of my subscribers was like, you know what? At the end of the day, start your own clan. It's where a lot of them come from. And once you start building and people, really start getting excited about what you're doing, they will come. And I'll be honest, to the subscriber who finally threw out their tidbits of encouragement, thank you so much. Because now we are a couple of rotations later. We have won every single CVC since that we've been competing in. But this most recent one was a little bit different. There's always a strategy. And I will tell people I am always 120% into the strategy. Like I'm about it. It's one of the things about Raid Shadow Legends that I really feel like I enjoy the most. But one of my strategies has involved keeping a few of my accounts to where I am only stacking materials and resources. I don't spend, I don't upgrade, I don't do anything but run my battles, claim my chest the entire 2 weeks in between. And this previous CVC, I did that for 2 of my accounts. You guys know total, I'm still running about 7 free-to-play accounts. I'm only running 7 to the end of the year. I know it's insane. I know. But my goal was to really see what was the difference as you went from one account to the other. And I can 100% show you there is a huge difference. It is a matter of chance to a huge degree as to how quickly you jump out of the box and really get started in this game. And so, with the strategy of holding back 2 accounts. The most recent Clan v Clan, we started out pretty good. Of course, everyone's logging in. I have team members from around the globe, to be honest. You guys know if you have anybody that's in like Japan, China, Korea, anywhere on that side of the earth, their early morning hours are when you've really got to pay attention to how your clan is doing. I have learned anywhere between that midnight to 1 a.m. Central Standard Time for me. I need to be up kind of paying attention because that's when teams will often change their strategy right toward the end of the competition. Guys, we have been doing pretty well. We were ahead by about 30,000 points. It's not a comfortable number for me. A lot of people will instantly say you are so overboard when it comes to CVC. but I thoroughly enjoy the competition of it all. And so I'm going in and I noticed that you went from, I want to say at the time our clan was sitting at like 240,000. The other team was maybe at like 203. All of a sudden, midnight, 3 hours left in the competition, your whale of a teammate logs in and they post 93,000 points. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I get the strategy. All of my clan members, all 23 at the time, were active except for one. And so I'm like, okay, I know everybody's out there giving their all. I have a couple of team members that they are barely even level 10. So for them to be in a CBC, for some of them, it's their first one. And so they were excited. They were all motivated, but they weren't able to like really dump in that many points. It just wasn't happening for them. And so, oh, this is the one he's fully skilled out. And so I'm sitting here and I'm like, you know, what can we do? And what I ended up doing was taking those two accounts that I had put on reserve and I absolutely positively went in and dumped every resource that I could. And then finally, something said, go back and look at what level this particular team is sitting at. And my mouth was just wide open. Guys, they were level 12 and we were level 3. Level 12 and level 3 cannot. And they were like 14, they were 14 wins in. And I'm sitting here thinking like, these guys absolutely just came to demolish us. And that's how it felt across the board. That's absolutely how it felt. And so I'm sitting here like, how can you justify matching us up, you know, and considering this to be fair or even? Like, I just couldn't wrap my head around it. Where is the cutoff when it comes to putting teams together? And I only say that because I have a couple of other creators that they're also running their clan for beginners. And they're like, you know, when it's clan versus clan and there's only clan rewards, you know, we are coupled up within teams of maybe 5 levels or less than each other. But when it's personal rewards, you absolutely have to dump all in because those are the ones that become so competitive. And it's not the fact that the personal rewards are so great, because sometimes they're not. It's honestly just the fact you don't want to lose. I just really want my particular clan to be out there doing the most. I want us to get as many points as we possibly can. So for those 2 days, I am absolutely shutting down. I am going all in, which when I have events that come after the fact, they're not extremely helpful at that point. I'm not crazy about these two pieces, y'all, in case you're wondering. I wanted to kind of roll it up to see what other substats will pop up. I'll probably end up going with these pieces only because this is my secondary build on a Duke Galek. I'm not going to pour in my best of best resources. I'm definitely going to put this guy in some perception gear. So, and I don't have my other piece for Divine that I would love, and I just want to run him real quick. So that's kind of what this account does, play around with a couple of pieces. I will go in and purge this account pretty often. This is actually going to be one of the accounts I think that I'm going to reserve the resources for so that I can start prepping it for the next CVC as well. But when you guys are kind of looking at your competition, the number of members is important. And I think honestly, this past CBC, the number one thing that saved us is we had 22 active members, even down to my member that was at the very bottom of the screen. I did not care. Those 400 or 500 points you put in were extremely appreciated because we needed every point that we could absolutely get. I'm tempted to put him in relentless gear. I'm between relentless, throwing on some perception, and I mean, I can't do immortal. Yeah, this is always the hardest part for me. Swipari is another one. I wouldn't mind trying this one. Only because, nope, can't do that one either. Anyway, so Plan B Clan for me is one of my absolute favorite parts of the game. It is the area where I think I find the most excitement. It's where I am extremely motivated, mojo wise. Like I am in it to win it across the board. And so when I start noticing things like that, I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily me that's, I will put you in speed boots, but why? It may just be me, because I know that's one of my areas that I'm always most passionate about. But how do you guys feel? Have you noticed anything? Have you, really, has anything piqued your interest about how the matchups are made? When I think about how we're listed in tournament groups, I think tournament groups do a much better job of kind of going in and putting all the players in competitive areas. Honestly, I feel like we do a much better job early game than mid game. I've noticed I've been in groups where maybe a third, if not a little bit more, of the people in that tournament group actually participate. Normally, the first 10 slots, the first 3 slots, you're not shocked when a big spender comes in and just goes all in, or someone who's been really saving up materials just kind of dumps all resources. They may really want their skin. They may really want, whatever their top prize is. For me in tournament groups, I'm normally aiming in a different direction. I'm looking at what's going to be rewarded for levels, 8, 9, and 10. I'm usually in it for the energy. I don't mind it if there are a couple of pieces where we're actually out here, forging for a few things or something like that. But it's it's not the area of the game that's going to get me the most excited by far. I can truly say that part of it. And so I think to a certain degree, it definitely depends on where your passion lies for for the game overall. Where do you want to spend your time? Where do you see yourself being most productive? And do you generally give of yourself throughout those in between periods, especially when it comes to clan? I know clans aren't everyone's favorite cup of tea, but if you haven't joined one, especially if you are early game, it's a really good way, I think, for me to be able to encourage those newer players at least at 1,000 points for your contribution. Claim every reward possible, because I know that as a player when I was level 20 and under, especially, I joined a clan that was way beyond my league. Didn't really realize it, but guys, they kept me in that clan for quite a while until they just dismantled it, to be honest. And it was nice because you had players in there that were putting in 60, 70,000 points by themselves. Like they were in it. I couldn't put in as much, but I remember one of the clan members sending me a message and was like, hey, pump in your 1,000 points, go for it. If that's all you can do, it's fine. We've all started there. I promise you it'll be worth it. It felt so good just to have the reassurance of, I'm not just taking up space. Someone really notices that it's going to take me a whole day of gameplay just to simply be able to get to that 1,000 points. But it was nice for the contribution to be acknowledged. I have been in battles where honestly we've won by 1,000 points. So don't ever underestimate what's possible, how that can possibly help you or your team, because that becomes a whole different story. It becomes something that people want you to value and they want you to understand and to feel included, which is always going to be a big one. But I'm not going to hold you guys long. Just kind of want to get out. Every time we have a CBC, kind of going back through, thinking of game plan, thinking of how things could have been better or different. We were successful. I'm extremely proud of the work my clan did, how we were able to go in and get a lot of things accomplished. So how'd you guys do? What did you think of the most recent competition? Do you think they're going to change up the reward system? I would love to see a couple of tweaks put into there. I would like to see more than 2 areas, given that 2x little push. That would be nice as well. There are certain areas as a new player, like when they 2x spider, guys, it is such a waste for most of us. Most of our viewers are not level 16 or better in dungeons, so that's not happening for them. I can say specifically, Spider has been one of those areas I have long kind of dragged myself through. It's been pretty interesting and kind of difficult all at the same time, but it is an area that I definitely want to accomplish. My little level my 3-star Galek is probably not going to do very much, but I'm going to run this guy, just kind of see where we are and try to make some kind of progress during faction wars. So keep me posted. Let me know how you're doing. If you need a clan, we have slots available. I think we have about 7 slots available. So type in 22WK. Let's fill out the reigns on that one. Hey, they're pretty good. And would love to have you guys in the clan. We're always sharing promo codes, of course, even before I post on YouTube with videos. Love going back and forth with questions. I'm actually going to do a video in just a second on one of the questions that I received in our chat that I thought was a really, really good question. So a really good way just to have some conversation going back and forth, a nice way to stay encouraged and remain active in the game. Would love to have you guys join. So 22WK. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscription button. And as always, happy reigning.